Let's raise the big questions right at the very top. Mamata Banerjee's move on Snoopgate, is this more political than legal? Is a judicial probe the only way to get to the truth of whether phones were hacked? Will it be mandatory for central police officers to cooperate with Mamata's probe? Is evidence in the hacking going to be very tough to get? Those are some of the questions right at the very top. Justice A.K. Ganguly, former judge of the Supreme Court, joins me. Appreciate your joining us, sir. Bishwajit Bhattacharya, former Additional Solicitor General of the country, and Vikas Singh, also a former ASG and senior advocate. Thank you all very much for joining me on the show. First, you, Justice Ganguly. Two senior judges, one a former acting Chief Justice of the Kolkata High Court and the other a former Supreme Court Judge, Madan Lokur, appointed as a two-member commission by the Bengal government.
Not acting.
Yes.
He was Chief Justice.
He was Chief Justice. My apologies. Your view,
I tell you,
your view, do you believe that this probe, therefore...
I'll tell you, this...
Go ahead. Do you believe this probe has validity?
The political controversy... Yes, I'll tell you, I don't say anything on the political controversy arising out of this, but I look at it from a strictly legal point of view.
Yes.
You see, such a probe can be set up, an inquiry committee can be set up only under the Commissions of Inquiry Act 1952, I understand. Now, under that act, Section 3 says an appropriate government can set it up. Now, the appropriate government has been defined under Section 2 of the Act. Section 2 says that if the matter relates to any of the entries in List 1, which is not outside List 2 and List 3, then the state government cannot set it up.
So you
see, if we look at the List 1 of the 7th schedule of the Constitution, kindly see, item number 31 in the said list reads, posts and telegraphs, telephones, wireless, broadcasting and other like forms of communication. So the whole thing falls under this item in List 1, that being the legal position under the Constitution. If you look at the definition of appropriate government under 2II of the Act, it clearly says that an appropriate government, the state government in relation to commission appointed by it to make an inquiry into any matter relatable to any of the entries enumerated in List 2 and List 3, not in List 1. So this is a matter enumerated in List 1.
So you're saying the state government cannot
therefore,
you're saying the state government cannot legally form a commission of inquiry.
I have doubts about this.
You have doubts about it. Bishwajit Bhattacharya, you're hearing Justice Ganguly.
The Act says so.
You're hearing Justice Ganguly saying that the Commission of Inquiry Act puts certain limitations on what a state government can do. Do you believe that Mamata Banerjee could suo moto in the manner that she has done, set up a commission of inquiry?
100%. I respectfully disagree vehemently. And I'm surprised at the remarks made by Justice Ganguly, because List 2 and List 3 are abundantly clear. List 3 talks about public order, police. List 3 talks about, criminal law. It talks about CRPC. It talks about preventive
but
detention.
kindly see list.
So Justice Ganguly
one by one, sir.
Mr. Bhattacharya, kindly 1 minute.
Justice Ganguly,
1 minute. May I just...
Sir, just a minute, Justice Ganguly.
I am really appalled. I am really appalled that Ganguly can ignore List 2 and List 3 and focus on entry 1 as if it is just post office doing something, some broadcasting something. This is a national threat. This is a national security. This comes under criminal law.
No, so can only the center... No. But Mr. Bhattacharya, is it not true, therefore, that only the center can order a probe of this nature? Are you saying the state government can? They have the locus to do so?
101% under Section 3 of the Commission of Inquiry Act 1952. Both central government and state government, they have concurrently, they have the jurisdiction and power. And if central government so far, instead of sleeping and evading the issue and obfuscating the whole issue, should have suo motu acted, but once the state government has taken the stand, now the central government is precluded from appointing another commission of inquiry as long as the state government commission of inquiry is functional, until and unless the central government wants.
But how does the state government, Mr. Bhattacharya, how does the state government then order central government officers from the Intelligence Bureau, from let's say those in the telecom ministry at the center to appear before it? Can they do that?
Of course they can do that. Section 4, subclause small a is abundantly clear. They can summon and enforce attendance of any person from any part of India and examine an oath. And section 1(2) reads, the act extends to the whole of India. Rajdeep, in a situation where only the state government can inquire by the very deft handling of the West Bengal government in rising to the occasion of saving India's parliamentary democracy, when the central government is sleeping.
Okay,
then why central government?
You're saying if the central government refuses to act, the state government can.
It has all India jurisdiction.
Okay.
Rajdeep, state government has all India jurisdiction under section 4, subclause A.
Okay, that's contentious. One minute.
National television channel will make this kind of statements.
1 minute, Mr.